right, welcome back for UFC Vegas 107 early bird bets. We're going to run through each of the fights on the card. There's a few that got canceled. There's a few that got added. And so we're going to go through each of them, lay out the bets we've already placed, and recommendations for the entire card. So let's jump into it. This video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video constitutes financial advice. Betting involves risk, and you should only wager what you can afford to lose. Please consult a licensed financial professional before making any decisions. All right, first fight of the night, we have Alice Ardelin versus Dos Santos. Don't know too much about Dos Santos. Ran the numbers. She had a 67% chance, 33 for Ardelin. I don't think there'll be any value on that. Slight, but 33%. I don't want to bet those. If I did, it would be to win 2 units. It would be less than a unit because we are going profit here on suggested units. Okay, well, let's jump right to the next fight, and we have a big play on this one. I think the wrong guy's favored. We got Markel Medeiros at a plus 160. We got him earlier, and Balagiocki gets action. I've noticed that. I look back on a few cards. He gets a lot of action. So far we have 3 units to win 4.35 at a plus 145, but there's currently a plus 160 hanging there. My metrics have him about, 150, 160 points higher on the Glico 1, which surprised me. That's probably because Oki's last fight was a submission loss to Chris Duncan, who is not even as rated high as Markel Medeiros. The Austin Hubbard fight, Austin Hubbard was ranked up in the 1600s with Medeiros, and so I think that his numbers are better. They're both young. I think it's just Balaji Oki has a lot of fan support, and so projected probability 60% for Medeiros, 5.5 is the suggested units. We currently have 4.35, so we will be putting another unit, probably get up to a 4-unit play on it. Only thing that keeps me off on the 5 is newer fighters, so there's a bigger range, so we're going to take that into consideration as well and temper our unit size. Next one here, Kirk Holloway. Love this as well. I think it's wrong guy favored. Metrics have Holloway at a 57% chance of winning. Jordan Levitt hasn't fought in a long time. No WHR rating. That's when you have not fought in over a year. And so if we just look at the Glico here, Holloway's at a bit of a higher level, more active, I think tougher. And so I do think, again, public support on Levitt. He's got the podcast. He's an interesting fighter. And so I wonder if some of that money is coming there. It could also be he's been making a lot of improvements. So we have to measure both. And either way, even if it was 50-50, we're getting a plus 145. So my combined line is plus 140. I have 2 units to win 2.8. And suggested is 5. So we will have more on Holloway, but I kind of think money may come in on Levitt. We will see. Ramiz Brahimaj. I said if I get a plus 600 or better, I'll bet it. It's a plus 470. I'm getting 25% chance, 7.5 percentage points of value. But I'm not betting these massive underdogs unless I see a path to victory, like if I just see it's mispriced for some reason, or it gets crazy like a plus 600. We will put money on it because there will just be too much value. But as for now, stay off. Maycee Chase on, slight lean on her, and we may get plus money. It's a minus 102, so 52% there, but not really interested in betting that. Filio and Nascimento was just added. Got to run the metrics on them. Dusko Todorovic. I have always made money betting against him. He gets knocked out a lot. However, Zachary Reese just got knocked out as well, and Dusko has a resume. And so he's got knocked out by some of the best guys. I mean, he just keeps getting these lions. I don't know if that's Reese. We'll see. But if I get a plus 350, there's value. I'm getting 13.6 percentage points of value. It's because I see it, or I don't see it, but the numbers see it about a 43% chance compared to 57. I think the public does not like Dusko. And so 10% on Tapology. I like to look at these to see what's public sentiment. Same thing with Ramiz, 97% for Obon Elliott. So I'm not going to look at this one. Jordan Levitt, 77%. So these are people, just what they feel is going to happen. And so a lot of people bet with their feels. And so that is that. Okay, next one we will have a bet on. We already have a bet on. Not much value here. You'll see it's negative value at the minus 180, but I grabbed it at a minus 135. And I parlayed Dustin Jacoby with Mateusz Gamrot. And I love that bet. It's at plus 209. And so we have 2 units to win 4.12, and we'll get into Gamrot later. But I like Jacoby in this matchup. I think Bruno Lopez is getting way too much credit for beating Maham, whatever that guy's name is. The lightweight guy, I had a bet against him. I bet on Bruno Lopez. He won in that fight, cashed as a big dog. I think Dustin Jacoby is a massive step up. And so Dustin Jacoby, Bruno Lopez, I don't think he's going to be able to do the clinch work that he did against Magomed. And so I like Jacoby a lot in this spot. Numbers don't show. I mean, it says 59%, minus 180. That's too much, but I like Jacoby in this spot, and he is in my parlay at a lower number. Okay, next one. Seok Hong Ko. Numbers say 3.5 units on it, getting plus 120, giving him a 51.4% chance of winning against Billy Goff. This is what I think the fight comes down to. I've watched tape on both of these. At first, I was like, really like Ko here, and then I watched Billy Goff, and man, that guy's tough, and he just keeps coming forward. Ko has been knocked out twice, and so I do have a unit on it at plus 124. However, I may stick around there. We'll see. Might be a kickoff bet, especially if we can get better odds. I do think money may come in on Billy Goff with the public, 70-30, but we've seen line movement, money action come in on Ko. So that's a wait. I would say if I was to bet on it, there's going to be 2 units, 2 to 3 on Ko, if that number keeps getting better. Then we get Mateusz Gamrot. This number is not going to get better. Got him at a minus 135. He's got up to a minus 170, currently at a minus 160. Not much value at a minus 160. Give him 61 percentage points of projected probability. It could be higher. His wrestling will be amplified in the Apex against Klein, who's going to be a kickboxer. And so it's a very simple strategy, path to victory. And I like him in this spot, needing a win, hungry. Give me Gamrot, especially at that tight number. I think it's a great line. And Tapology on the Gamrot side too. We've seen money come in there. I have him in a parlay. I also bet him straight up, 2.8 units to win 2. I have him in the parlay with Dustin Jacoby. So we'll have about 6.12 units of profit on the line if Jacoby wins the first leg of that parlay, and then we'll ride into the Gamrot fight. And that's going to be my largest position, and I like that. There's one thing that I made a note of after a couple of debacles each week with the betting is I've had some rather large bets on certain fights, plus money fights that have not gone my way. And so I'm going to be trying to sprinkle in more favorites, less variance. And when I say favorites, I mean, I'm going to have a big bet on Markel because he, in my opinion, on running these metrics, he should be a 60% favorite, around a minus 150, and he's a plus 160. So that one I'll put a lot of units on, but that's what I'm saying is I'm going to avoid these Ramiz, Brahimaj, 25%, unless I get the plus 600. Like all these low probability bets, I'm going to try to avoid in order to level out some of this variance and try to just have as our goal to capitalize week to week and make a profit week to week. And that way we can have something we're shooting for, not just always going for the best value, even if it's a big dog who's got a very small chance of winning. We got to mix them in there. We got to have profitable weeks. So that brings us to the last fight of the night. I'm actually excited to see this women's MMA fight, but I don't think I'm going to have a bet on it. Not much value, slight value on Maycee Barber, but I think Blanchfield wins. I think it's a similar reason. Apex fight, smaller cage, favors the wrestler. I like the wrestlers in these fights. So, and, take that for what it is. Dusko's got a little wrestling in him. There's paths here. But, yeah, that's about it. So let's recap our bets here. All right, so here's our recap of early bird bets for UFC Vegas 107. We have Markel Medeiros suggested units. That's the profit. We're going to get up to 5.5. I currently have 3 units to win 4.35 at a plus 145. You can grab them currently at a plus 160. Mateusz Gamrot. I have 2.8 units to win 2 at a minus 140. Currently at a minus 160. I also have him in the parlay with Dustin Jacoby. And that's 2 units to win 4.12. So I went over suggested units on that, but I really like these two a lot. And I think these are good favorites to sprinkle in. And followed by Kirk Holloway, I have 2 units to win 2.8 units at a plus 140, currently a plus 145. I think money comes in on Jordan Levitt. So I'd maybe hold off on that with Holloway, and then I would bet it because I give him a 57% chance of winning. Last one here is Hyeon Ko. I'm going to call him KO. Ko, loved him at first, giving him a 51-ish% chance of winning. Put a unit on him to win 1.24. At plus 124, lines come down to a plus 120. But looking at some of Billy Goff's old fights and it's really a 50-50 coin flip, one way or the other. I'm going to need a better line, and I think we might get it. So I think we'll have more units, but we're going to wait to get that maybe plus 150, see if that pops up. And there you go, guys. So those are all the bets. 10.8 units on the line for UFC Vegas 107, and we will have more units. I'm just going to come out with the Friday face-off recap. So we'll have the 2 videos, early bird bets, face-off recaps. You won't see me for a few weeks, but, we'll just keep monitoring the lines. If I do get anything on the, let's see, which one is it? Alan Nascimento and Rafael Filio fight, I will release a separate video. Otherwise, we'll just check it out on the Friday face-off, especially because it's short notice. So we may want to see that anyways before we decide on anything. And there you go. See you guys in 2 weeks.